God. What year was Todd Gurley drafted?
I don't know.
That was like the first year that I ever actually played like competitive fantasy football. I used to do it like for fun. My uncles were always into it, like, oh, I got this guy going, and they used to do like those old school drafts with like the boards and stuff like that. Like you had to actually walk up and put your pick up there on the board.
Yeah, pre-internet.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, I would do it for fun once in a while, and then then I got into a league with a buddy of mine. It was literally the year that Todd Gurley got drafted. That was the first time I did competitive fantasy football, and yeah, that was it. After that, I kind of got out of it after a couple years because like I had so many teams that I felt like I was focused more on what my fantasy football teams were doing and not so much on actually watching the games. Um, but then of course I got back into it, and now I have like 6 fantasy football teams again, and a fantasy hockey team. So
That's definitely a different take on that.
yeah.
So we'll give it to Steve. Steve, what was one of the things that got you into doing fantasy, and how long you've been doing it?
Ow! That hurt. That fucking hell. So honestly, you were there for the start. Remember when we created Friends and Rivals? That was a really good time. Like I'm fucking hell. I sound fucking like I have a fucking tism. But it was very much the league, but real life, because good God, Pat's short. I'm sorry, I gotta say it. Pat, you're short. I gotta do it. You're short.
And I can do about it.
I know.
I mean, I haven't seen him in years, but he was always short.
Like,
I thought me and him were always the same height.
I'm now perplexed. But no, honestly, like, we're at the 10-year mark, and it's exactly what it should be. Like, it's friends. It's guys who like football, who like the Bills, who like, let's say the fucking Eagles or whatever. We're a lot more. Let's talk shit and have fun with it and enjoy something and take our minds off of real life. And I fucking love it. I really
took Adam beat me for that to happen, but
well, he was better than you. That's why.
one time.
I'm the commish, so I'm never gonna win. I know that. I accept that. But
play me in the championship, and you might. So, all right, Corey. Same question to you. When did you really start getting into fantasy, and what was one of the things that really got you into doing it?
I probably got into it about, I don't know, 10 years ago now. I don't know. A couple. I wasn't really into it when it was like the paper thing that you had to meet up for. It was already after it was online and had some apps and stuff. It was right about when the apps started getting popular first. So, and that watching my brother play it, because he did it back in the day when it was that with like the paper ones and all that, and you had to like meet up and do all that kind of stuff, and it got me really excited. Plus, I've always loved football, and on Madden they have that. It was kind of like that where you could run the team and pick who you wanted and do what you wanted and stuff. So That was another reasons I really got into it.
That kind of got me into it too. Like just playing Madden. Like, hey,
Yep.
I'm gonna build my own team.
Right. And now this year I get the chance to kick your guys' ass for the first time ever, so I'm excited.
There you
You
go.
might as well just send the money straight to me, not even to the league. I'm just that damn good.
That's good.
As long as someone takes down Ryan Thomas, I'm okay. So, all right. So, Adam, will put the spotlight back on you. When you do your drafts and everything, what kind of strategies do you go with? Are you like a running back, specific right off the bat, or you play as the board falls, or
Yeah, I would probably say play the board balls. Like I always target players, and it depends on what kind of league you're into. Like I have 2 dynasty leagues. I would probably take those drafts differently because I'm drafting rookies. It's not like I'm drafting. I mean, drafting, but yeah. So I would do that differently. I would try to get best available position in a draft or something like that. Like try to move up if there's a player I want. But it's mostly like just projections. If it's just like a redraft, like you get your keeper or maybe not. Sometimes you don't. But if you have your keeper, at least you got that guy, and maybe build around that guy. Try to get best positional value at wherever you're picking.
all right. Corey, when you're doing your drafts, do you have any specific strategy that you like to implement or at least try to do?
Not really. I mean, my thing with fantasy, the first couple years, it was like just take best available, best on the board. And then after that, I finally started because I was just mainly, it got me more. I think I forget who said it in their interview, maybe Swank or one of them two said it, but it got me looking at other teams besides just the Bills into their players more. I mean, I always knew like the big name players for other teams, but other than that, I couldn't really tell you stats or anything like that or follow. So it made me want to watch more games and start looking into them. So with that, I usually try to go like running backs and wide receivers the first few rounds. Like I sell out on that early. For some reason, that's just always been my thing. And then like Josh Allen's probably the only quarterback I would go first round if he was there. But other than that, I pretty much just sell out on that.
Yeah, I mean, I've never been a big fan of taking a quarterback in the first round. I know some people do, but it's I always look at the first couple rounds. You got to get one of the top running backs and the top receiver if you can.
Like Christian McCaffrey.
Hey, when he's healthy, it's amazing.
Just get this tattoo. Damn it. Just do it. Do it.
He's alive.
Do it.
Maybe. So, Steve, we already talked on that, and we'll. What are some of your, draft strategies that you've implemented either over the years and like to do now?
Okay. Get your setup. Like my keeper is Josh Allen. So I build around him. If you're gonna make it running back heavy or wide receiver heavy, hold on a second. I feel horrible. But anyways. Fucking damn it, Pat.
So, all right. Well, Adam, one of the things that we usually like to do on here too is we also usually like to bring up sleepers.
Yeah.
So, I know as Bills fans, we always have that a couple of Bills players that we have in mind, but let's start with the rest of the league. Anybody that you and it doesn't necessarily have to be a rookie. It could be a rookie or somebody that's really not been big in fantasy that we think has a legitimate chance this year. Let's go with a couple of guys from the rest of the league before we talk about the Bills players.
God, I don't know. I feel like George Pickens might have a great year being with the Dallas Cowboys. I think he's kind of a sleeper. Jesus. I don't know what's going to happen with Sam Darnold. I mean, Sam Darnold's the kind of guy that's probably going to fall to you if you need a quarterback and you want to take a shot. He could be a good sleeper in Seattle.
You think he'll put up the numbers like he did last year? I picked him
I
up
don't think
like
he'll
week
put
4 or 5 last year.
Like, I don't think he's going to be like in the MVP because he was in the
Right.
MVP voting last year. I don't think
A lot of people forget that.
but I think he'll keep them. They'll probably make the playoffs. I would say that they'd be a sleeper for the playoff. That team.
Right.
I mean, they still got Kenneth Walker too, so they got a good run game.
They have Cooper Kupp now.
And they just got Cooper. Hopefully he stays healthy. God, I don't even know another sleeper. Probably go running back.
I mean, you can go rookie if you need to.
Who's that kid that the Chargers just drafted?
Hampton.
Hampton.
Yeah, I would. Yeah.
Yeah. I like that pick. The only issue I have with it is what I mean. Obviously, they spent a lot of money recruiting Najee Harris to come over there. So
Yeah, I know. Maybe that's going to be like hey, Najee's going to carry the load for the beginning of the year, and then we're going to gradually get this kid in.
yeah,
Because Najee's more of like a ground and pound kind of guy.
Yeah.
He's always been, at least in Pittsburgh. I don't know. He kind of was in Alabama too. But Hampton seems like he's outside of the tackles. He can catch the ball, just like James Cook should be doing. But
I agree. So, Cora, do you have any non-Bills sleepers that you're kind of looking at this year?
Yeah. And I can't believe I'm going to address this team, and you won't hear me do it very often in a good way. But the new running back that the Patriots picked up. Now I'm thinking, what the heck is his name? Damn, I just lost. What's his name, Pat?
I know who you're talking about, but I can't
Shit.
remember.
Oh my gosh, I just lost it. Yeah, I think he's gonna be good, man. I think he has potential to. I mean, I'm not top 10 back or anything, but I think he'll definitely come out there and be a big help for them. I mean, they don't really have a lot going on too much. My bad. They got Diggs, so watch out now.
Oh,
Yeah.
Lord have mercy.
I think Mac Hollins is like, that's the only one I'm mad about. But watch him lead their wide receiver room, man.
I'll be honest with you. There is another Patriot player that is a rookie that I think has a legitimate chance of. I know he's got some guys he's got to overcome to get there, but don't keep your eyes off of their new wide receiver Kyle Williams.
Yeah, man.
That kid has
got some good highlights.
Yeah.
If him and Drake May can get on the same page, I think he's somebody that you could also. And I'll be honest with you, there's a lot of talks that he might be bumping Mac Hollins out of New England before the season starts.
Oh shit!
Yeah, I always felt like that. And you gotta they also have like that Boot or whatever the hell his name is,
or whatever his name is.
Drafted Javon Baker.
Yeah.
And I mean, it seems like he's done, but they also have that Jalen Polk kid who had flashes of being good. So,
and let's call it, they do have Stephon Diggs.
And they do have Stephon Diggs.
Dude, they have potential to be the number 2 seed in the East
before he got hurt.
Yeah.
He was doing pretty goddamn good. He was doing a lot better than people expected him to do.
Well, him and Cardi B just broke up, man. So he might be.
Oh god!
It didn't
Now
hurt at most of the time.
get another yacht and do some more cocaine or whatever. the
Yeah,
hell
he's
he-
got boyfriends to take care of him anyways.
This time the cocaine will be purple.
Right. Yeah, it's gonna be blue and silver now for the Patriots. They've got
Alright.
potential though to be the 2 seed in the East though. They really
know.
do.
I think this is going to be the year of you're going to see a lot of sleepers this year and just about a lot of teams because there's a lot of guys that they're probably put in the sleeper category this year just because there's so many question marks of what they're going to do and who they're playing with and guys that they're kind of backing up. But
like that kid from Tampa Bay, the
Yeah.
wide receiver McMillan. You don't know how Chris Godwin is going to come back from his injury. He might be sign me up for that.
One's the dude that went to Carolina.
No, Jalen McMillan,
Oh, okay.
the wide receiver
Yeah.
from Tampa. He played in Tampa last year. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
What about Christian McCaffrey? You think he comes back solid?
I think the fact that they traded Jordan Mason before the draft and everything tells me that McCaffrey's on the right path. And look, I mean, if he's healthy, he's a fantasy. He's gold in fantasy football. Other than that, I mean, but that's the thing. Every player is subject to being injured too. It's one of those. That's the part of the game where it's nothing you can control. And that's where having a good draft strategy to start your season off brings in some pretty good bonuses. So if you do end up in that road, you're not just scrambling.
Right.
But let's talk more on these sleepers. Who do you, Adam, on the Bills project to be probably the biggest sleeper, or somebody that also is nobody's really talking about, but has the chance to really go off?
That I hope goes off. I hope.
Hope, or just you know what? See something in this guy that nobody else seems to see. Just watch when give him the chance.
I hope that this is the year of Dalton Kincaid.
Don't we all?
I mean, there's you can't really say much about it. You gotta do something.
Well, I think when we've talked about Kincaid too, between us and the guys on the K gun, I think we've all kind of agreed. I don't think it's an issue with Dalton Kincaid. I think it's an issue with the coaches not coming up with the better play calling and utilizing him the way he's supposed to be used.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I could see that, especially last year with the everyone eats mentality. I know he was injured too. That probably played a lot into it. But I mean, this is the year, man. You got to put up or shut up. We could have had Sam Laporta. Could have waited and had Sam Laporta.
Oh, Scott Reed.
Ah, 68% catch rate.
Allen
All right.
needs to give him a fighting chance. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like we did use him like they did in college, man, Kincaid. Like we used him as a blocking tight end last year when we could use Knox for that more and let Kincaid be the receiving style tight end that
Well, I
he
think
was.
that was always the plan, that
Yeah.
Kincaid was going to come in and be like the receiving tight end, and Knox was going to be more of a blocker, but he can also catch the ball.
Yeah.
I think put it and designing more plays this year for Kincaid in the slot, which is where he made his name in college, was not only the tight end, but he also played a lot in the slot. You have a big body slot receiver like that, that's not a bad option to have.
Yeah.
Especially in an everybody eats.
I always feel like that's the problem with the Bills' offense. Like James Cook, we drafted him because he was a receiving running back. He can catch the ball in the flat. He can do this. Like, he's dynamic. Obviously, he's good running between the tackles. He's got great eyesight. He can he reads left to right quicker than I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
But the receiving doesn't ever really factor into it. Once in a while it does, but maybe like on a swing pass, maybe you can get it out like on a screen, something like that, and then just get him going upfield.
Yeah, I feel his receiving usage is more utilized more in the red zone area than it is the rest of the field.
Yeah, and they do it. He had a couple of downfield catches last year. I mean, that's good when they run those wheel routes with him, and like he finds himself open because he's so fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Corey, do you have anybody other than Kincaid that you're looking at as a potential sleeper? That, again, I mean, Scott brought up the third tight end, Jackson Howells, but I feel like that guy's going to be designated as our blocking tight end more than anything.
a beast. That blocking, man. That's what I agree 100%. He's definitely going to be for that. I think, well, I've heard, I really hope I can get to training camp. I didn't get one of the lucky golden tickets. So I really want to try to find one to go. Because I want to see that rookie that we drafted. I mean, obviously Maxwell Harrison, yeah. But what the heck is that kid's name? Landon Jackson or something, I think. The bald kid there.
Yeah.
That has no eyebrows. The Russian looking dude. They said that he was doing good in the camps and stuff so far. Like he was like really eye popping, like could potentially be a starter this year at some point, if not in the beginning, like or a playmaker. So I'm really excited there. I think we had an amazing draft at defense. Like we all talked about in the fantasy chat group, sell out on defense. You know, if you can get a solid receiver or running back, maybe late, go ahead. And I think that's exactly what we did this year. So I'm ready for this whole defense, man. By week 6, when them boys, or week 7, when they come off of the well, we have to buy 7, so it'll actually be week 8. So week 8, when the 2 guys come back off suspension and we're all set, ready to go, man. Oh, I can't wait. Hopefully this defense just eats teams up the second half of the season and we ride off in the sunset.
Well, the guy that I keep projecting that I think is going to be, and I don't think he's going to be unless something happens with James Cook. I don't think he's going to be a every week starter. But man, I think he's going to carve himself a nice little role in this team more so than he did last year. I think one of the sleepers, and if you do draft James Cook, it's somebody I think you might need to have as a handicap or a handcuff if you need him, is Ray Davis. I think Ray Davis,
That would be my second choice, honestly.
if unless James Cook goes out there and has the similar season that he did last year or does better, I can see Ray Davis overtaking him as the number 1 running back. I mean, he can play in the catching game. He can run the ball. He plays third downs if needed. I mean, he kind of does a little bit more. The only thing is, obviously, they gave Cook more opportunity, and obviously, as the starter, you get starting opportunities. But we saw when Ray Davis went in for the Jets, against the Jets when Cook was out, he handled that spot like he was perfect. So,
but it's weird when you think about that because James Cook, if you look at like all the other running backs in the league, he had the least amount of carries.
yeah. But the sad part is the only.
Still produced.
But I mean, him and Josh Allen are right now the only true Bills players that are almost week to week starters in fantasy.
Yeah.
So,
and
but
don't ask me if I had James Cook in my fantasy or my dynasty league, and I traded him.
Well,
to your guest last week.
Oh, Deshaun, huh? How many reels were in the trade deal when you traded with him?
Oh my God, so many reels.
I feel like that's got to be part of the bargaining here. It's like,
oh yeah, he just bombards you until you can't say no.
So, Yeah, he was that was definitely an interesting take. He was not somebody I didn't expect him to be who he was, and for him
Oh
to have
yeah,
it was good.
yeah.
Scott Reed has
Yeah, he's
put it
smart
on
as
here
shit, man.
that he likes obviously your wide receiver Elijah Moore. I think a lot of people are starting to become very fans of him. I'll be honest with you. I don't think Elijah Moore will be classified as a sleeper once the season begins.
Right.
Yeah. He's a sleeper now because
Right.
nobody knows.
Well, that's the thing is
Everybody knows what he can do.
everybody eats mentality, and between him, Palmer, and Samuel and Shakur, nobody really knows which one of them is truly going to be. Obviously, I don't think any one of them is going to be the X factor wide receiver because I figure we don't need that anymore. We proved that last year, but somebody that could potentially be that if need be, I think it's coming down to one of those four. And I think Elijah Moore definitely has the chance to do that.
I mean, Jordan Palmer.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen a couple Chargers games over the years when he played there, and what was it, 2 or 3 years ago when they lost Keenan Allen and they lost the other wide
Herbert.
receiver that played for the Jets last year.
Mike Williams.
Williams, thank you. He shined. I mean,
Yeah.
he was really good. Definitely a big down the field threat, which is funny because he's not that fast, but he can separate somehow. Yeah, that could be another sleeper.
Well, and again, you're going to see a little bit of, in my opinion, you're going to see a little bit of what I call the Josh Allen effect. Those guys, obviously Palmer had Justin Herbert, and Justin Herbert's not a bad quarterback, but he's not that elite level that Josh Allen is.
Yeah.
Well, I've never thought Justin Herbert
Oh.
was.
Scott, who are you talking about? This he said sleeper now. How sooner or late you grabbing him in a snake 12-man league?
Somebody's referring to like Moore or Ray
Is it
Davis.
Elijah Moore?
In a normal person's league that aren't Bills fans, I would say probably towards the end of the draft, like round 13 through 15. But being that we're
My family draft, dude, there's like 3 Bills homers. My sister-in-law's dad will draft like every single Bills player.
right.
that
I
he
bet
can
this
get in.
being a Bills league like it is, I bet
He's gonna-
I agree with Pat. I'd say later in a regular
Oh,
league, but
early.
with this being a Bills league, I bet I'd say I wouldn't be surprised if I saw round 5, but I bet round 7 he's gone.
Yeah, I would say between round 5 to 8, he's going.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
Somebody in our league, and again, we
I'm
saw
taking it first pick. Fuck everybody.
I mean,
first round. Boom.
First round.
I don't
pick
remember who.
101.
I don't remember
Show me
exactly.
your asses.
But last year, somebody took Dawson Knox in the 9th round. So Elijah,
I think Dawson Knox was honestly my last pick of my draft last year. I was
Right,
like, oh
and
shit, he's still there. Click.
but that's right around with having Kincaid there. That's right around where you would have expected if Knox is going to go, not in the 9th.
Yeah.
Right.
But all right, so
I'll be right back in a second.
okay, so Corey, other than that, what? So, is there a specific uh, Bills player that not necessarily that you want to draft, but is there somebody that you think needs to have the breakout season or needs to, kind of solidify himself as a staple on this team?
Coleman. I would say Kincaid has proven enough already, and he was still top 10 tight end last year. I mean, even though our tight end, as Bills fans, I think we're a little bit more judgmental. So it's not, I don't really see the need for that, right? But Coleman, I would definitely like to see a nice breakout year. And I mean, I'd like not a breakout, but I'd like to see James Cook repeat, or if not, even better his numbers. And I think one guy that like deserve, not that he needs a breakout year either. He's been solid and great. And in my opinion, and I'm not just being biased as a Bills fan, I'd say it even if I wasn't, one of the best, if not the best, yards after catch receiver in the NFL right now, Khalil Shakir. Man, I just want that dude to blow up, man, and just have a big ass year. That way, like ESPN's all over him, type shit. Like that kid, dude, he has been so solid, and he deserves to just have a season of greatness. Not that he doesn't, but it's low key because of all the other potential out there. But man, I wouldn't mind seeing him in the top 10 receivers
He's gonna be
of
our
the whole
he's gonna be
NFL this year.
Wes Welker.
Yeah.
Right.
I'd like to see him be more Julian Edelman than Wes Welker because Wes Welker never got a Super Bowl.
Oh, what was that little dude we just got rid of a couple years ago? From the Cowboys.
Beasley.
Beasley. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Adam, we'll give you the same question. Who on the Bills do you think must show us significant improvement to take pretty much and become a solidified member of our team and say, hey, we absolutely have to have this guy to keep going?
Gregory Rousseau. I think
Okay.
you got that contract that you just got.
Well,
think
I mean,
you gotta-
anybody in a contract extension should have to
I
prove
don't
it.
know, man. I think he needs to put up this year, especially when you got somebody to learn from in Joey Bosa. I think he needs to show up this year in a big way. A couple other guys, Corey mentioned, Kincaid, obviously, Shakir. I'm afraid if James Cook cooks again like he did this year, the Bills will not be able to afford him. Even though I think they should re-sign him, but either way, don't think we're in a bad position if we can't.
I'll be honest, when it comes to the resigning of him, if we're going to do it, I don't know how yet, but I think Brandon Beane will move some money around, and I think it gets done before the end of the season. It'll depend. It'll almost be like when Ryan Fitzpatrick got his extension. He was playing out of his mind. He was playing really good, and the Bills said, "You know what? Lock him down now."
Yeah.
And I think that's what you're probably going to see with James Cook this year. I hope he's the one that has to, like, we know James Cook has a role in the team. It's not that he doesn't, but he's the guy, in my opinion, that has to prove that he is as good as he is. You want this money that you want for next year. You're not even just proving it to the Bills. You're proving it to the rest of the league that you deserve this payday. So, in my opinion, when it comes to fantasy, James Cook needs to be, in my opinion, in the top. He wants to get paid top 5 running back numbers. Well, you better finish this season in fantasy in the top 5 of running backs, because otherwise, man, you're going to get close to what you want, but you're not going to get anywhere. You're not going to get what you want.
No.
So
Yeah. No,
we all say that, but there will be some team that'll sign him for that amount of money, but it's usually a team
yeah,
the Browns.
Oh God.
So you can go get your payday, but you'll no longer be on a contender. So
Yeah. Correct.
all right, yeah. I usually try to keep these interviews the about 40 to 45 minutes. We're at the 35-minute mark, so we can do some closeout thoughts. Or you guys got any questions for me, Adam, Corey?
Hey Corey, how bad is it gonna feel when I kick your ass next year?
About as bad as you not watching CM Punk win that title the other day.
Oh, he's gonna win.
My boy went ghost mode for 3 days after that.
right.
Oh no.
Well, I got a unique. I have a unique
man.
situation for the two of you. So I don't know when you guys are going to play each other in the K gun. I'll have to look
I
and
hope
see when the schedule is done. I know it's done at random, but I think you guys should have what. So Swank and I did the fantasy bet with the SpaghettiOs last year. I think the two of you should have. If Adam wins, Corey has to go an entire week of saying nothing but positive things about CM Punk. However, if Corey beats Adam in that week, Adam, you have to post stuff about how CM Punk just sucks.
Oh no! I can't do that.
I'm gonna get him like a Seth Rollins outfit. He's got to wear to the Rager,
Oh,
bro.
no.
Like a big boa and shit, dude.
Oh.
Ooh, see that
Or if I lost, dude, I'd have to show up with the CM Punk shirt, tape my hands all up with the X's on.
Oh, with the accent. You have to stay sober the entire night.
Oh my god, dude, losers got to stay sober, man.
Well, no, if you have to dress up like CM Punk, you have to be straight edge.
Oh,
all right,
no,
so there you
man.
go.
Oh no, I'm not. I
If
won't drink,
Corey-
but I'm at least smoking some weed, man.
Corey, if you lose, you got to go sober for what is it, 2 days? And then
You know
Adam,
what's wild?
you got to do
You
a day
know-
where you're dressed like Seth Rollins.
You know what's
Okay.
wild, man? Is unless I go out to like a concert or something for the night, like to go see Swank and them, unless I go out with people, really, like I don't just. I mean, like maybe once in a while on the show, but I don't really drink daily, man. Like maybe once a week, if that.
Oh, that's
I can have a 6-pack of Labatt or a 12-pack, and that'll last. That'll be in my fridge for like almost a month.
So now, Adam, I did bring up. I'll bring it up now. In our Orlando league, I made a trade offer to you.
oh god. You're
What are your
putting me on the spot?
hell yeah?
I mean, yeah, I'll take it. I already said I would take it, so I'm a
You
man
said
of my word.
maybe at the end though.
What? I said it's a maybe now because you think you're the tribal chief.
Hey,
You ain't the tribal chief. The real tribal chief is staring at you right now.
can't say that.
Yes,
Chief.
I am, bro. Yes, I am, bro.
So for those that don't know what the trade was, and Corey's probably like, "What trade?" In our Orlando league, I have when I finish third, I have the 8th overall draft spot, and Adam, being the defending champion, has 10. All I did was say, "Hey, I'd like to trade you draft spot," so I get the 10th pick or spot, and he gets 8th. And you just heard it there. He said yes.
Yeah, but my 8 is Jaden Daniels because I have a keeper.
Right. But
So it doesn't really matter.
Right.
it does if you're thinking like myself in this.
No,
So-
See, that's
because if
why I
I
didn't
got
want to
picked,
do the trade because there's something going on, and I think it's shady.
No, it's not.
no, dude, pick 10 in my opinion is how many people are in the draft?
10.
10.
So yeah, dude, I would rather have the last pick than pick 8.
Think
'Cause
about
then
it.
at 8, you gotta wait 8, and then you gotta wait another whatever to come back around. At 10, you're boom, boom, back to back. All right, wait, boom, boom, back to back.
Well, Corey, think about it this way: in a redraft league where you have a keeper, our
Right.
keeper is our first round pick. Who starts the second round? Team 10. Not anymore. You already traded the pick.
Ah. I did say that.
So all the keepers go, and then the person that starts the draft in round 2 is Team 10.
Right. So that's what
So-
I'm saying. You get back to back pick. Boom, boom.
So I could
Yeah.
potentially go with a top running back and a top receiver right off the bat. That's the
Yeah.
play.
I knew there was
Yeah.
some shit going on.
Hey,
See, that's why, dude. A lot of people are like, yeah, right, yeah, right. I cannot stand having the first pick. Like, all right, yeah, you get a great player, the first pick, but I've had the first pick before, man, and they ended up getting hurt, busted that season. Justin Jefferson, I was like, you son of a bitch.
the first
So,
pick
like,
is
Well, I had the first pick last year in the K gun, and I had CD Lamb, and my team fucking won 3 games.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, the only bad thing about having the first pick, sure, in the first round, you're taking. If it's not a keeper league, you're getting any player you want because nobody can stop you. The problem
if
is
I got first pick, I'm guaranteed going Josh
if
Allen
you're in
every
the
time now.
10-team league, you're not picking again for about 20 picks. That's
Right.
a lot of That's a lot of people coming off the board before you get your second pick.
Yeah.
So
I think you have to almost take Allen with your first like 2 or 3, like first 1 or 2 or third round, or
well, I think
round,
that's where
the
that
first 3 picks, because that dude puts up 20 points a game as a quarterback.
well that's
You
the
take
spot.
Mahomes with one of those picks too, because he's a top
no.
quarterback. Do you
He's
take
a
Lamar?
bum though. He don't, but he doesn't put up the fantasy points like Allen does with the running and shit. I'd probably take Lamar.
Lamar
Hell yeah.
Jackson.
Lamar Jackson does
The
put up
top-
fantasy
I
points.
think the top 3 quarterbacks right now, in my honest opinion, this is just my opinion. This isn't off of any stats or nothing. It's just off of what I like. If I was to pick top 3 quarterbacks, it would be Allen, Jackson, or what's his nuts there from Houston, CJ Stroud. And that's only because he's coming into his own and he's got the legs and all that. Or the kid from
Daniels or Hurts would be my.
I was gonna say, yeah, the kid from Washington there last year. That
Yeah,
he
I would have
started
swapped
breaking out too.
Stroud for Daniels, but yeah,
All these running backs are starting to get like Allen there and can run and throw, and you're seeing a lot more teams with those guys. I mean, I don't know if they're all built like Allen, and knock on wood, if they'll last as long, with the running aspect like that. But a lot of these quarterbacks are getting more mobile and stuff, and you're going to see them start averaging, 20 points, 15 points a fantasy game.
well, the truth is, once guys
So it makes the whole first rounds weird now.
once guys like Joe Flacco and Aaron Rodgers officially hang it up, let's call it what it is. Those are the last 2 true pocket passing quarterbacks. Once they're gone, there is no more pocket passing quarterback in the NFL. It's all you have to be a dual threat quarterback. You have to be able to run and throw.
I mean, you could also put Joe Burrow up there.
Joe Burrow could move though if need be. You don't see it very often.
Not as like a pocket passer, but as like a top 3 fantasy quarterback. Simply because they don't have a defense, and all he does is have to sling it on the yard all day long. Like
I know, but having the guy in Jamar Chase who you played college with as well doesn't hurt.
yeah, I mean, but he's still gonna get you freaking points.
And that's why I always tell people, I don't care if that person wins unless they're a Bills. The Bills players I want winning the ball games. They can score me no points and win the ball game. I'm cool. All the other players, I don't care if you win your game. Just score points. So, because again, you don't get bonus points because they won the game. I think some leagues have that, but yeah. So,
I think so.
All right. Well, you guys got anything else before we wrap this up?
Fuck CM Punk.
You guys gonna do your fantasy bet here?
I actually like CM Punk. That's the worst part. I just like fucking with him. When he came back, I was like a little kid. I was like, ah!
When he came back the first time in AEW, I was like,
Dude.
holy shit!
Yeah, man. Dude, I won't lie. Like, as much as we all fuck around and bad at sports, dude, I'm so emotional with sports. Like when Edge came back at the Royal Rumble, he was like my favorite wrestler of all time. I couldn't even jump up, man. It was one of those, like, I heard his music hit and I'm like, who the fuck they got using Edge's music? And he came out and I was like, and my hands just did one of those and I was stuck, dude. I was like, and then like you saw his emotion and shit. I was like, oh.
Yeah, he was one of those guys where you heard rumors that he was coming back,
Right.
but it's
Because he hit that spear on, who was it? Baron Corbin. He hit a spear.
He speared like 4 or 5 guys, and then him and AJ Styles or something stood up.
Yeah.
It
was 7 years from when he retired. So
yeah.
And then it was like,
that's why, like, if you watched it as a kid, that's why you still watch it now as an adult, man. Because it's like everyone's it's fake. How can you watch it? So is half the shit on fucking TV, man. So is half the sports now. Like, who cares? And it's that energy that you get, like, even though you think, like, because they get you a lot of times, like even us, we know what's gonna happen. And we're like, but then that one time it doesn't happen, and you're like, oh shit, what?
He's one of those guys that, I know John Cena's on the farewell tour and, he's done in December. I don't know what WWE has to offer AEW, but man, I almost feel like they need to make some sort of deal with AEW just to be allowed to have Edge get one more match with John Cena. I don't feel like Cena's retirement year would be complete without having at least one match with Edge.
Massive freaking rivalry with Edge.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. And you seeing it so far, him, Randy Orton, CM Punk, Edge, those are the big guys.
John Cena's dad in the face.
I mean, the only other person that Cena had a major rivalry with was Batista, but you're not going to see Batista come back. But
Batista's done. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know what they have to do to get Edge, but if I was Triple H, I'd call Tony Khan and be like, "What's it going to take?"
Yeah.
Do you
I
think
just want him for one night.
Somebody who I wouldn't mind seeing come back, even though I don't think it'd be a huge, massive pop, but Ryback, I wouldn't mind that.
I think he's burned too many bridges.
Same, but
yeah, I think he's done. Fuck that guy.
But who knows, man? We all thought that was CM Punk and with
yeah, but CM Punk only was burning one bridge at that point. Like Ryback's gone.
Seth Rollins, man. I mean, they might have worked their differences out now, which I think they did in the background because they work like they're actually willing to work in the ring together now. But dude, in the beginning, like when he showed up at that cage match there, that hate was real, man. Like Rollins was real.
Oh, yeah.
If you know their beef, dude, Rollins cannot stand that fucking, like, they were really about to fight. And dude, that's what I loved about it. And like, dude, Punk's just smug ass, like, ha ha. Yeah.
All right, well, thank you for joining and watching us. I don't know who I will have next week as my fantasy interview, but got a couple people that still need to do one, so I get someone in the works. If not, go Bills.
Go Bills.
Go Bills.